Searching for eagle rays on Palancar Gardens in Cozumel. You can see how beautiful that water is already. Man, here we go. We're about to splash in. Check out this. This reef is way more than I expected. I mean, when I'm thinking of reef, I'm thinking one long reef, right? Because that's all I'm used to here in North Carolina, Radio Island. But this is like huge mounds or statues or pillars of reefs that we're swimming through. They're all honeycomb. Can't think of my guide's name right now, but that's the DM, Manolo, that's his name, Manolo. Awesome dude. He said this is a place where you will frequently see exactly what we were looking for, which is that iconic Cozumel eagle ray. These things are 20 feet long. Check out that reef though. So here inside the reef, when we're swimming through these little sorry, all you cave divers, while we're swimming through these, what's the word I'm looking for? Small spaces. I'll think of that later too. You're not likely to see a 20-foot manta ray there, but on the outskirts of this area that we're in, check out that angelfish. I think that's an angelfish. I'm terrible at fish ID. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. By the way, if this is the kind of content you're into, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out a lot, and we do push out a lot of this content. Look at that little blue boy right there. I don't know what he's called either, but he's beautiful. Seems like those little fish are always the most beautiful tropical colors. A little wave to them right there. But yeah, so while you're not likely to see a 20-foot manta ray inside these small restrictions, on the outskirts of this area, they do frequently see them. So that's what we're hoping for. Can't tell you whether we see it on this dive or not. My son says yeah. Look at that, That is Palancar Gardens. That's one of the guys that was on the dive as well. He was only on his 13th dive and doing this amazing dive in Cozumel. There's Manolo again. Here we go, we're about to take off into another restriction. A little bit of marine life there. So they say in Cozumel, this is what Manolo was telling me, that there's two types of reefs. There's reefs for sea life, and there's reefs for the reef itself. And this is a reef for the reef itself, because the reef is the attraction. Oh, check me out right there, wearing that snorkel. Look, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. All right, my dreads were actually pretty sweet because Lauren did them just for this trip, but that one dread just wanted to be a Lone Ranger. Kind of got a little unicorn horn there, but that's okay. Yeah, that's right, that's okay. So here we go, swimming through this beautiful place. It's 83 degrees. This is probably the first video you've seen me without a wetsuit. Did y'all catch that little patch right here? That's my emergency oxygen. It actually just puts oxygen right into your bloodstream up to 20 minutes. Just kidding. That's not true. It's for motion sickness. It is like the Cadillac of motion sickness medicine though, and it works great for me every time. It's called a SCUBA patch. So if you get motion sickness, you definitely should give that a try. So going through some of these swim-throughs, that's the word. Going through some of these swim-throughs was really scary for me, not because I'm scared to do a swim-through. We do them all the time at the aquarium and some other places that I dive. But just the fact that these beautiful structures don't need to be harmed, and I'm just frog kicking ever so slightly, trying not to touch it, because I told the guy up top, I was like, man, I felt like a bull in a china shop, like with these priceless reef around me. I feel like I'm just gonna break something off. So we do want to take care of our reefs, of course. Here you can see the bottom structure. It's very coarse. It's not like sand. It actually is small pieces of broken off coral. And you can see those big pieces there as well will eventually get ground down into the same thing. This is probably the smallest, the tightest swim through that we did here. And I was just bunched up. I mean, I'm 6'2", like 250. I'm like trying my best. But some of these swim throughs like this one, it actually has some pull to it. So while you're trying to make your way through slowly. You can't really control your speed because the current is pushing you through it. So definitely you should dive in Cozumel. It's an awesome place to dive. You should dive on Palancar Gardens, but you should not dive it alone. You need a local who's experienced in that. Look at this wide open. That's where you'll see the manta rays, or not the manta rays, the eagle rays. Sorry y'all, it's late. So you're not gonna see them in these tiny restrictions, obviously. So on these outskirts, that's where we've really got our eyes peeled. Let's look at this. Come on. Looky there. Isn't she beautiful? That beautiful color. And that's not even her true color. If I were to shine a light on her, she's much brighter than that, because we're at about 80 feet here. And there's a thing in dive physics called absorption, where light is actually absorbed by the water. So some of these reefs, all of this reef, is much brighter than it appears. And here in a second, I'll turn on a flashlight and you'll see that. Actually, I think it's this very next clip here. Manolo doing his thing, pointing out a sea cucumber there so that we can see it, being a good guide. Check this guy out. He's actually pretty cool. Yeah, he's really cool. He's puffed up there doing his thing. All right, so here's the light. Check out these colors, how they bloom when that light hits it. See all those dark grayed out areas? When the light hits it, you can see that color. See, what was gray is now red. It's really amazing. So definitely get yourself a good dive light if you're gonna be diving at depth. All right, we're about to break into this open section that if we're gonna see them anywhere, they're gonna be here. Look at that light cascading through there. All right, here we go. Manolo's trying to put us on them. All right, yeah, that's how. That's exactly what I'm saying. Alrighty, check out the size of these reefs. Some of these things are like 60 feet tall by 40 feet wide. Just the magnitude of the reef alone is worth the dive. I mean, I'm blown away the whole time I'm diving. I'm glad I could take y'all here with me to view it. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out. So here we're busting out into the open section. Check out the size of those reef structures. Stunning. So you can see more life out there on the outskirts. That's where your eagle rays are gonna hang out, because obviously they can't fit in those tight swim throughs. Saw a lot of those yellow boys right there. I'm not sure what they're called. The name is right on the tip of my tongue, but if you know, put it in the comments down below. Any of these fish that you recognize. I'm always trying to get better at my fish ID, so yeah, let me know if you know what those are. Wow. All right, so on this dive, on dive 1, tank 1, that's where you're gonna see them. Unfortunately, we did not see them, but I'm gonna put the second dive up, and the second spot is even better, called Paradise Wall. Make sure you check that out here, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.